What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's special live where I'm going to be calling sellers using LeadZolo. You guys have requested more live seller calls, so that's what we're going to be bringing you. Today, I'm going to be showcasing LeadZolo leads, but also what I taught you over the past 2 days, which on Tuesday we went over the King Closers formula, the 2025 rendition. I'm going to be using that, obviously. And just like I showed you in yesterday's video, I am prepped. I'm ready to go. I've got all my tabs ready. We're ready to call some sellers. So if you guys are excited to see some live seller calls, drop a comment in there. Let's just get to it, baby. We're here to close some deals. Let's see how many it takes us. So I'm actually going to be purchasing leads off of the LeadZolo marketplace. Someone asked me the other day, they were like, hey, RJ, why are you not showing your screen? Other people do it. I apologize about that. Hey, if other people have figured out a way to do it, that's fantastic. I have had videos taken down off of YouTube. There's nothing more frustrating than having that happen. So I just don't share my screen. I've had over 100 videos taken down. So I apologize about that, guys, but can't show you everything that I'm doing over here. So let's get to it. Got my first lead. This is in Texas. We got looking for a quick sale. They've owned it for a long time. Let's do it, baby. Let me know if you guys can hear the seller okay. Hey, this is RJ Bates. I was looking for Mark. Is this Mark?
This is Mark.
Hey, Mark, this is RJ. I'm calling about your property there on Carhart Street. Looked like you had filled out a form on my website about selling that property. Is that correct?
Maybe.
Maybe? What's the deciding factor there?
Just depends on how much I can get for it.
How much you want for it?
I was thinking about $125,000.
125,000. All right. Well, tell me a little bit about what you got going on.
He's probably eventually looking for a bigger house to move to, actually.
Bigger house. Same area? You don't want to move away from the area?
No, same area.
Gotcha. All righty. How'd you come up with 125,000?
I know that's what a few of them around me have sold for here lately.
All right. You guys lived there for a while?
I've lived in this house for like 20 years.
Gotcha. Time to upgrade. You say you want a bigger place?
Mm-hmm.
How many square feet is that property?
It's roughly about 1,300.
1,300. Okay. Does the property itself need any work, or is it in really good shape? It looks like it's got a metal roof on it, and just from what I can see online.
Yeah, just got through doing all that. It's in pretty good shape.
Gotcha. Was there any particular reason as to why you would want to sell it off market instead of just listing it with a realtor?
Just to see if maybe I could get a better deal on it than with a realtor. You sit there forever until you sell the darn thing.
Yeah, there's a cost with speed, though. Speed and convenience costs. With us,
Right.
we can close on your timeline and whatnot, but obviously we're investors, so we're always looking to make profit with whatever we're purchasing there. So like when you say other properties around you have sold for that 125, obviously that's what we're going to be looking at. That's what I'm looking at right now, just to see what properties around you have sold. If that's kind of like full market value, we would be coming in underneath that for sure, because we've got to protect our investment there.
Right, I understand that.
Is there any like underlying motivation besides just, hey, I don't want to wait on a realtor and pay commissions and whatnot?
That's gonna be about the half of it right there. Yes.
I got you. Well, yeah, I mean, realistically, the options are, you know, if you want the most amount of money, open it up to the retail market, either listen with a realtor or doing for sale by owner and trying to represent yourself. Okay. That's where you would make the most money.
Gotcha.
With us, you know, I mean, it has to come with a discount because obviously we've got to make profit.
Right. All righty, man.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, Mark. Have a good one. Bye-bye. So that's hilarious. He put that he was looking for a quick sale, but he really wasn't. And so one of the takeaways I want to give you guys on that one right there, this is why it's important to verify that they want to sell the property right out of the gates. He was like, yeah, I mean, kind of. Depending upon how much money I get, you know, essentially for the right price. What's that right price? We get the price, which is, you know, he said other properties around there are going about that. The similar square footage, the highest sold comp was 119. So he was actually wanting above that. And then it's really just hammering home, like, is there any motivation? Doom Sports is absolutely right? That's in the seller bucket. That's wrong price, no motivation. And point blank just had to ask him, like, hey, do you have any underlying motivation? No. Seller volume was a little low. All right. I will work on that, see if I can improve that for you guys. All right, let's get back to the marketplace. See what else we got here. Go to one of my more favorite places, but place I don't do a ton of volume in, but I do like it. Maine. We actually are working a deal in Maine right now. So it'd be good to get another one. Hi, is Donna there? Hey, Donna, this is RJ Bates. I was calling you about your property there on Owl's Nest Road. Looked like you had filled out a form on our website about selling that property. Is that correct?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Awesome. How much were you looking to get for that?
Well, I have it on the market for $419.
$419. Okay. Can you do me a favor? When you filled out the form, it just said Owl's Nest Road. It didn't actually give me the actual address. What's the numbers associated with that?
661.
661. Okay.
Owl's Nest Road in Shapley.
All right.
It's 8 acres.
Gotcha. When you say it's on the market, are you listed with a realtor?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What had you going to our website and filling that out if you're listed on the market?
It's not selling quick enough for me.
Okay. How long have you been listed? Like 60 days?
Yeah, it's been on the market for about almost 3 months.
What's the reason why you think you haven't gotten any offers?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, I got a couple offers, but they were like only $235,000, and I'm not selling at that price because I bought it in 2019 for $213,000.
All right, so
I want to at least try to get $400,000 because there's also a Generac on there, and plus a wood stove.
So it's got a wood stove and what else?
A generator, a Generac.
Okay. Are those like improvements that you made to the property?
Yes.
Okay. So you bought it for $213, and then you added a wood stove and a generator, and you're not going to go below $400. So you think those were $187,000 in improvements?
That's about how much my house is, yeah. Because it was what, over 10 or 15,000 just for the Generac.
Uh-huh.
And it was about maybe 2,000 for the wood stove.
Oh, okay. All right, I just want to make sure I had the numbers correct. So you bought it for $213. You've done about, we'll just say 15,000 in improvements, but you want 187,000 more than what you paid for it.
Yeah, because it's on 8 acres too as well.
Right, but when you bought it for $213, it was still 8 acres, right?
Yeah, but back in 2019, everything was cheaper. Everything's gone up since then. Because when I tried to list it on the market, when he tried to list it on the market, the original price that is on Zillow or Realtor or whatever is $420,000. Is what is on the market. What should be on the market now.
Yeah, it's $419 is what it's listed for.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, some properties have appreciated, but I don't know about to the tune of, $187,000.
I mean, I'll go down on it, like maybe 370,000, but I don't want to go any lower than that because I still owe on that house.
Okay.
I still have a mortgage that I got to pay.
Um,
And if I was to pay it outright, it's 185,000 if I was to pay it outright.
So you owe 185.
Yep.
Okay. I guess my question is like, it's been on the market for 60 days at 419. You said you've gotten offers, but the highest you've gotten is like 235.
Right.
What's your plan there if no one's willing to come in anywhere close to that 419 offer? You just going to keep it?
No, I'm gonna try to get rid of it. I can't afford it anymore. My husband passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that. So this is one of those situations. I don't know what the right price is for me yet as an investor because I haven't gotten that far yet. But the market is kind of telling you at this point that 420 is not the right price, right? Because if it was, you would be getting offers.
Right.
The other
thing is too is that when I bought it, it was supposed to be 10 acres, but the guy that sold it to me only gave me 8 acres and he kept 2. Well, he ended up selling them 2 acres.
Okay.
And the couple people that put a bid in it, they're related to him.
All right.
And I think, and I don't know how much he bought the land for. Because when I looked up on Zillow, it stated that property of 661 Owlsnest Road, the house is on it for $419, but then if you scroll down a little bit, it states that it's just land of 1.8 acres of 230. What was it? 236 or 240, something like that, for the land itself. but that was only for 1.8 acres. But it has my address on there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on Zillow right now. I mean, I'm seeing your listing for 419. It's got a 2-bed, 1-bath, 1,040
Yep.
square foot house and 8.96 acres.
Yep.
So I'm not quite sure. I mean, you're just you're basing it off of what Zillow said. Like Zillow said that those 2 acres or 1 acres or whatever is worth a certain amount of money.
Yes, well, that's what my realtor told me, because he's the one that did all that for me.
Well, what's your realtor telling you right now as to why the house isn't selling?
He didn't say.
Mm.
And I think, and also I think what the problem is that where my driveway is, at the end of my driveway, there's a little piece that is on the 2 acres. See what I'm saying?
So there's an easement.
Yep.
Well, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Because you have the easement, right? And I don't think any owner occupant would be looking at this. Are you still occupying the property, or have you moved out?
I moved out.
Oh, geez. So it's vacant right now. I'm looking at the pictures.
Yep.
So is there a specific dollar amount that you like need in your pocket?
Yeah, because I'm trying to get another house with me and my son. Because I own a trailer too.
Okay. And how much is that specific dollar amount?
Well, the trailer's in a trailer park. And that trailer's, I've been in there for the last 23 years. I own that place. But it's like I said, it's in a trailer park. And that thing may be only worth $5,000. Because it's run down. I haven't really put much work into it and stuff like that. So.
But I'm saying from Owl's Nest Road, is there a specific, like, if I could just hand you a briefcase of money after the mortgage is paid off, is there a specific amount that you need to just walk away?
Yeah, I'd like to have 200,000 to walk away from. So that way I could put down payment on another house for me and my son.
Yeah, I just think that's a very large amount, because that's pretty close to what you're asking for the property. I think if that were going to happen, someone would have come in and offered that to you, you know?
Right.
I mean, 200,000 is a lot for a down payment. I mean, you didn't put 200,000 down on this, right?
No, I put about 20 grand on it.
Right. So why would you want to put 200,000 down on the next one?
Because like I said, everything's gone up. You know, in these times, days, you know, it ain't like back in the day when you give them some money and you'd be all set. But like I said, I also could go down at least, maybe 370.
So 370 would put like 185 in your pocket.
Right.
Again, this comes back to, I'm just looking at your competition that's currently like on the market. And I know you've got more land than some of these. I'm looking at one. It's a log cabin. It's adorable on the inside. And it's listed for $360,000. It's got the same like unfinished basement. How much land does this have? Doesn't say. This is also built in 2000.
Yeah, mine was built in 85, I think, or 86.
Right. This is just one of those situations. I don't know. I think it's very odd that your realtor kind of came to you and said, hey, this is what we should list it for, and then hasn't told you after 2 months why it hasn't sold.
Right.
I mean, have you asked them?
Not right out, no. But like I said, I think it's because of the person that bought that 2 acre.
Why does that 2 acre? I'm not seeing the correlation. Why does that matter?
Because the people that's been offering it, like I said, knows the guy. They want to live next to the brother.
Yeah, but like I'm a buyer. I don't care about them. So why is that impeding on other people offering on your property?
I don't know.
I don't think it does.
I got another call. I'm sorry. I got another call that I have to take. Can you call me back later?
Sure, Donna.
All right. Thank you.
Brother. What fairy tale land is she in? Joshua, I was trying to be patient, but I was also trying to be as honest as I possibly could, because she definitely doesn't need 200,000 to walk away. And it's realistic. It's really hard because it's kind of rural Maine. There is a similar property with less land that is active for 515. But sold wise, I mean, we've got one at 595 with less land. My plan is just to get her to say what she actually needed. When she said 200,000, it was like, all right, it wouldn't make sense. Would I moved on quickly off camera? No. I was trying to get her to understand that what she's asking is never going to work, and see if somehow I could get her to just stair step herself down, but it clearly was just not going to happen. That was somewhat delusional right there. So give me 2 seconds. I want to see something real quick before I buy this lead. Nope. Two leads, pickup rate's 100%. Pretty dang good. All right, Teresa. Yes, Austin, that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm buying off the marketplace, discounted. Today, Jonathan, yes, that's what I'm doing.
Please leave your message for.
Hello?
Hi, is Teresa there?
This is Teresa.
Hey, Teresa, this is RJ Bates calling about your property there on Massachusetts Avenue. Sorry, sorry about calling you twice. The first time it was making like some weird sound, so I didn't know if it went through or not. But looked like you filled out a form on my website about needing to sell that property. Is that correct?
I'm wanting to sell that property, to sell the property that I'm at. Yes.
Awesome. How much were you looking to get for it?
Well, I like 65, but I will go a little lower.
All right.
65,000.
Okay.
I have it's a pretty large place. It is older. Part of it's older, part of it's new. So, and I know that the last valuation I had of it was 150-some thousand.
Okay. What's got you looking to sell?
I am wanting to relocate.
Gotcha. So are you living in the property right now?
Yes, I have been for 42 years, 43 years, yes.
Oh man.
Yep, it's an older home on part of it. Part of it's only 10 years old, like 10, 11 years old.
Oh, so you did like an addition to it?
Yeah, I did. We did a great room, which is a real big room that we did for family events and stuff, and then a double car garage. And it's all attached.
I see that. I got it pulled up here on Google Street View, looking at it from there. All right. Where are you looking to relocate to?
Out in the country on the other side on this side of Knob-Noster.
Okay. Out in the country.
Yeah, a smaller place. So I don't need this big a place anymore. All my kids are gone. My grandkids are all grown. And so I really don't need this big place anymore.
Understood. Does the property need any significant work to it, or is it just kind of older and just been lived in?
It's older, and it could use new windows on the older side. The new side has all new windows and stuff in it. And I put a new door in here, but it's probably 15 for up here. There's two front entrances and a back door entrance. And we started on a bathroom upstairs, and we never finished it. So it's just unfinished. There isn't really anything up there. We just started on it. There's all that's up there's a toilet. And I shut it all off, and I shut the whole upstairs off, so I don't even use it. And it's just been sitting there. And it probably could use some updating. It's an old house. I still have the glass doorknobs in here on some of the doors.
Some people like that. Some people are like, hey, I want to keep that stuff.
Guy across the street bought it. The one across the house across the street, because he liked the old look of it, the older look of it.
Right.
And upstairs in the rooms upstairs, they have transom windows up there. They don't make those anymore.
No, they don't.
Nobody uses those anymore. So, yeah. It definitely could need some updating. It's according how modern you want to make it and how old you want it to look. If you want the historical side, and this could be on if I had it done improvements on it, it could have been on the historical register, because it's right behind me is the Katy bike and walking trail, which used to be the Katy Railroad. And the guy and I have some of the old paperwork on this. It's pretty old. The guy that owned this originally worked for the railroad. And he'd rent out rooms upstairs to the railroad workers. So, that's, and he owned all the property around here and sold it all off. So, it's been around for a while.
Yeah, I see that. It was built in 1890. You don't see the 1800s very often.
When we moved in here, there was still an outhouse outside. It wasn't functional, but there was still an outhouse outside. They didn't have any water originally in this house, and they ran it in here. And you could tell that they just did it because they needed it, not or they got older and didn't want to put. There's an old well that's filled in outside. It's a pretty historical place, but we sided it, put vinyl siding on it, and did the large room addition. The one, if you can see it, the one with the double car garage, and there's a room next to it.
Right.
That's all within 11 years new. And let's see, we put new wiring in it when we moved in here. A couple years after not right away. We had to get some money. We put 2 roofs on it on this side. The new roof is never been replaced. We had the wiring done because it was 2 fuses when we moved in here. 2 fuses. So it has 2 fuses. So we had a nice breaker box put in, had the whole thing rewired. Part of the plumbing's been done, not all of it. So, and we turned the back porch into a bedroom and the other part into a laundry room. So, yeah, there's been some upgrades, but like I said, there's still upgrades that could be done. Very well, much so.
What's just out of curiosity, what's going on with that lot to the right of the house? Is that just vacant land right there?
No, that goes with the house.
Oh, I get all of that too.
Yeah, this is where the house is, and the one that goes down to in like a triangular shape. The back side is Katy Trail, like I said, and the side that's I pushed up the street. Well, I don't know that you can tell it's triangular. It's not square, and it's a quarter or half a lot, city lot. I don't know if they have it on the tax thing. Yeah, it goes with it. This all the way to the corner is my property.
Awesome. All right.
So,
Well, you talked about wanting to move out to the country, but you've lived in the house for 40 years. I mean, how much time would you need to be able to make the move?
probably 3 to 4 months to get everything, sold out of here or whatever. And I've got some stuff in the garage that doesn't belong to me. It belongs to my grandson. He needs to get it out. He works for an amusement park, so he works a lot of hours right now. So, but I could probably talk his parents into coming over helping. And so anywhere from 3 to 4 months.
Okay. So one of the
it'd be cooler. It'd be cooler. It's hot here.
Yes. So one of the benefits of working with someone like myself is that, we can work around your timeline. And so that's why I wanted to ask that. If you needed it, if we were to come to an agreement, we could say, hey, let's close in 90 days. And when 90 days rolls around, you're not ready, we can say, all right, let's give you 30 more days and just really kind of work around your timeline and what that looks like. Cause we deal with this kind of situation all the time where it's like, hey, some of my stuff is my son's and I've got to sell some of this stuff. And, you think 3 months might work, but it might not, you might need some more time.
Yeah. 42 years, I have been getting stuff together. I've been trying to do a Swedish death cleaning. I don't know if you've heard of that. That's a new thing for the United States, but it's not over in Sweden. Because I'm older. I'm getting older every day, and I don't want my kids to have to deal with taking care of any of this in the house and stuff. So I'm getting rid of them. Getting rid of a lot of this stuff. A lot of it. I just sold my stove the other day, my cook stove. I don't even have a cook stove in here anymore. So yeah, I'm serious. I'm gonna go one way or another, or I'm not gonna have much in the house. One of the two.
A Swedish death cleaning.
Cleaning. That's where you get prepared. You prepare, get rid of your stuff so your children and grandchildren and whoever do not have to deal with it when you pass on. mostly if they don't want to deal with it.
You know, Teresa, I've talked to a lot of sellers. I don't know how many I've talked to. I would assume it's somewhere in the $10,000 to $20,000 range. I've never heard someone say that before. I just looked it up. Yeah, it's a decluttering method focused on reducing belongings to make it easier for loved ones.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. So my daughter doesn't want to deal with it. No one, my son doesn't want to deal with my grandkids. They're young. They don't care. You know, few little knickknacks from when they were kids, and that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you said 60,000. Is that a specific number for a reason? Is that a certain amount that you need, or how'd you kind of come up with that number?
Well, I came up with it because I have some bills I want to pay off. I want to and then I want to buy a place, a little place, not a big place, just a little place that I can live in, with very little furniture, very little to do, very little upkeep, you know, nothing much to do. That's what I'm looking at. And property, I'm really looking at a camper, putting it on a lot. You know, buying a 30-foot camper and putting it on a RV lot or a piece of property.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at getting rid of everything and not having much left. Just enough to survive. I don't need it. I don't want to take care of it anymore. My partner passed away 10 years ago, so it's kind of just me and my kids. When they come around, they're all busy. They're all living their life.
Right.
So.
All right. Well, give me just a few more seconds here, and
You're okay. You're very okay. You just take all the time, and if you feel you need to call me back, look up information, whatever you need to do, and look up information, call me back or text me. Feel free to do that.
Oh, I'm fast.
Okay.
Give me about 2 more minutes, and then I'll be able to tell you what I can do here.
All righty.
What I will tell you is if we can come to an agreement on price, I'll explain kind of our process and how this would work. I would send you a contract for us to purchase the price on whatever we agree to. And then once you would sign that, then we would need to come out. We would walk the property and kind of do our necessary inspections there. And then if everything turns out to be exactly the way I see it, which you've been pretty forthright about the condition and it needs some work, I'd obviously want to look at like that upstairs bathroom, see what that looks like, what it would take to kind of finish that off. But if everything checks out for us, then we would be good to close on, your timeline, whether that's 3 months or 6 months, whatever you need. There's no rush from us on that. And then at that price point. So we would be very, easy to work with in that regard.
Okay.
Now,
and I'll be right up full with you. I have other people. I have an appointment to talk to another, investor, whatever you call yourselves, tomorrow, and another one next week.
Oh, well, let's just make them go away. I mean,
well, I made appointments with them. I have to talk to them.
Well, it's okay. I mean, you just give me their phone number and I'll call them back and say, hey, my name's RJ Bates and I came in and did a better job than you. So.
Well.
Let's be honest. Did you actually want to meet with them?
I'm not meeting with them. I'm doing appointments over the phone.
Oh, appointments over the phone. Well, how silly. Yeah, how silly. Well, that's what we're doing. We're having an appointment right now.
Yeah, that's true. We are.
Yeah. Hey, speed is the name of the game. Speed and convenience. That's what I'm giving you here. I'm giving you speed and whatever convenience you want. So
where are you located out of?
I live in Fort Worth, Texas. But
okay.
I've done a lot of deals in Missouri.
Okay.
Actually, funny enough, Missouri is the second state that I've done the most deals in besides Texas. I started buying real estate back in late 2014, and we did Texas only for several years. And then it was like, well, hold on. If I can do this in Texas, why can't I do this in other places? Texas is basically its own little country. It's so big. So, you know, there's no difference for me doing a deal in Missouri than there is doing a deal in San Antonio. I mean, it's 5-hour drive. It's a 12-hour drive to Missouri. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to drive the 5 hours to San Antonio. So we started doing deals, and Missouri was one of the first places we went to. We've done a lot of deals in St. Louis, Kansas City, Springfield. So, you know, this is right up our alley.
That's our big towns. Those are our big towns: Kansas City, St. Louis, and Springfield.
Yeah. Well, we've done deals in the small towns too. You know, some of the St. Joseph's. Well, of course, I had to do Branson because my parents always took me to Branson as a kid. You know.
Well, they did. Well, that's nice hearing you all come from Texas to Missouri to have your vacations.
Yeah, you know, we had to do the shows, the oldies. You know, I learned all about Wooly Bully, and yeah, that's the one that never left my mind. You know, Wooly Bully, the putt-putts, the go-karts, all that stuff.
You know, do you know that Silver Dollar City has been bought out by Dollywood?
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Dollywood and Silver Dollar City are owned by the same company, whatever that is.
Man. Old Dolly, is she like still the owner of that, or are they just using her name?
I have no idea. That much I can't tell you.
I hope she's still getting all the money from that.
We have Dolly. We have Silver Dollar City. They didn't change the name or anything. It has a lot of the same attractions that Dollywood does have in Gatlinburg or wherever the heck it is. And her company owns. We have the Dolly or whatever, the Stampede. We have one here, and there's one in wherever she's has her Dollywood. And she's bought up quite a bit of brands, is what I've understood. So I don't know what her company has, and I don't know. I'm sure she's still got 51% of her company. She surely wouldn't sell her company out. Right.
I don't know why, but my phone gave me a notification the other day that she was going on a 6-stop tour. I was like, I'm not really like a Dolly Parton, listener over here, but my phone was letting me know that Dolly's going on tour. I was like, okay, good for her.
She's pretty old.
Yes. So
I still don't know how she keeps wearing them high heels and not falls off them.
I love it. All right. So let me ask you this, Teresa. I know you said you got the other two guys coming, but let's forget about them for a second.
Okay. Let's go move on.
All right. If I were to say I could give you $55,000 cash and close whenever you want, and I'm going to cover the closing costs, and there's no realtor commissions or anything like that, what would you say to that?
Well, I'd say, can we do 57,250?
Who taught you to negotiate?
My dad.
57,250, huh?
Yeah, that's splitting $5,000 in half.
All right.
60 down to 57,250.
It's funny because I do a lot of these types of conversations, and there's this book written by an FBI negotiator named Chris Voss. Have you ever heard of a book called Never Split the Difference?
No, I haven't.
And I've said it so many times. It's a very famous book because he teaches it to people that, do sales and buy properties and, negotiate for a living. He was an FBI negotiator. And so he said, never split the difference. I get that. Like, you can't say, can you send me half of the alive person? Like, he needed all of the alive person. But for us, I mean, it's like my thing is $2,500. That's probably going to mean more to you in your situation than it is for me. So I'm good with that. But I do want to ask you, now we talk about the elephant in the room. Are you ready to do the deal with me, or are you still going to want to meet with my not friendly competition?
Well, I tell you what, I have this one that I've been talking to, and we could not come up with a meeting time. We would have been meeting today, or appointment time, but we couldn't agree on the time. And tomorrow's my day. I'm going to talk to them, and I'd like to at least talk to them. And I can cancel one for next week.
All right. Now, let me ask you, what's the reason why you want to meet with them? What is it that they could offer you that I can't offer you?
Hey, it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with me. It has to do with me as I gave I committed to having an appointment with them.
Gotcha.
And I followed through on my word.
All right. Well, here's what I would ask in return. So, because I totally understand where you're coming from, and I don't want to try to convince you to do something that makes you feel weird.
Yeah, you know what your word means down there in Texas.
Absolutely. So here's what I would ask in return. If you have an appointment with them tomorrow and you want to hold up your word on that, I can respect that. Can you give me a promise that before you do anything with them, because they're probably going to eventually talk to you about, hey, do you have any other offers? You're going to say, yeah, I talked to this guy, RJ from Texas. And then they're going to try to beat me out. So can you give me your word that you'll call me after and talk to me before you sign anything with them and try to do a deal with them?
Oh, sure. I will give you that 100%.
All right.
I have no problem with that. And then call back at this number you called me on.
What time is your appointment tomorrow?
Oh, let me look. Hold on just a minute. I think 9:30, but I don't want to give you the wrong time.
Gotcha.
I gotta go in look. I went into the wrong one. Sorry. That's what happens.
Well, you know it's in the morning, right?
Yeah, I think it's 9:30 in the morning.
Okay. Well, why don't I just call you at like noon tomorrow?
That'd be fine.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll call you at noon tomorrow, and we'll figure out what we need to do to make this work. Okay, Teresa?
Yeah, it is at 9:30. It
Okay.
is. I found it. Yeah, 9:30 tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. I'll call you at 12 o'clock. So they have plenty of time to do whatever they need. And then you can think about it, and then we'll call you and we'll figure out then. Okay.
All righty. I appreciate it very much.
All right. Thank you, Teresa. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
What a great call. What a great call. Hey, shout out to LeadZolo. 3 for 3 on the connection rate. First one, it was, no motivation. Embrace no. Second one, delusional seller. Third one, great lead. Did we get a signed contract? No, but I say this all the time. Follow-up is for failures. But what I mean by that is follow up when you go into the conversation to follow up. For example, our competition right there had her on the phone and then wanted to schedule an appointment to talk to her. Instead, I didn't call with the intentions of having a follow-up. I had on a double dial a 23-minute and 48-second long conversation. I believe we have a verbal agreement on price. I think it's a good price. It's a great deal. It's in a great location right outside of Kansas City. That's everything that you want right there. We're in the running, and do I have to follow up? Yeah, of course I do. But that's to be expected. But I went into that conversation right there with the expectation to try to close it. And because the competition added that barrier, I now think we have a leg up on them, right? We now have we planted our flag at 57,250. Competition's now going to come in, but why does she need to meet with the competition? Because she's a woman of her word. Without your word, you're nothing. So I got her to give me her word that we would talk after the competition. We own them at this point. We're getting that deal. Unless the competition comes back and just astronomically wants to overpay, that deal is ours to be had. So great stuff there. Let's keep the ball rolling here. Good stuff, LeadZolo. Good stuff. Man, we got a Utah lead. You guys know I got a ding with Utah. Let's see if it's anywhere near. Man, it feels like it's kind of out there in the middle of nowhere. Who wants the Utah lead? Who wants to see it? It's my least favorite state. Let's do it, baby. Tired landlord needs to sell ASAP. Delbert. I really wish you didn't say tired landlord in Utah.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
I knew better than to buy Utah.
Your call has been forwarded.
See, Utah is always ruining things. Buy a Utah lead. There goes the 100% connection rate. Chess. Utah. Always ruin it for everybody else. Let's get back to the good places, aka anywhere else. No, Jermaine, this is Illinois.
618.
No West Virginia.
No, quit calling me.
Hey. Nah, Will. Will said quit calling him. Nah, Will, we're talking, Will. Will, you came to me. Said you want can't say sell, so about 337 County Road. Tyler, I don't use a dialer. Quadruple dial. Tell them I'm not in the office.
618.
God dang it. See if we can get them to call us back. If so, should be fun. Just go toe to toe right out of the gates. Let's change this up. Back to Missouri. Missouri treated me good on the first one. Let's do it again. We got a Missouri video coming out tomorrow. Wholesaling around the world. Hey, is Allison there?
Yes, this is Allison.
Hey, Allison, this is RJ Bates calling you about your property on Wallace Street. Looked like you had filled out a form on my website saying you're looking to sell.
Yeah, it was just a random thing, but yes, I would like to know what the offer is.
Cool. How much you want for it?
200,000.
200,000. All right. Well, what you got going on?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. You said I want $200,000. What's got you looking to sell? What's the condition like? What's the occupancy timeline? Sell me on it.
Well, I mean, it's a good house. We just need to move. We need to move closer to St. Louis.
All right.
So I guess it's a distance thing.
Okay. What's the condition like?
Good. It's remodeled, and we've only been here for 2 years.
All right. So you're living in it?
Yes, we are.
Gotcha. And what's your timeline to move to St. Louis?
Well, I guess quickly as possible.
Okay. Let's see here. How'd you come up with 200,000? How's that the magic number?
Well, that's what we paid on it.
Oh, okay.
We retained on it.
And that was from 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Does it still look like the pictures that I'm seeing online from when you bought it?
Probably not. We do have a big tub in the master bathroom now. And I mean, I wouldn't say there's a lot of wear and tear, no.
So pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close.
Gotcha. What made you reach out to us instead of just like reaching out to a realtor and listing it?
Well, my husband just got this crazy idea to sell it, and he's moving jobs, so we do need to be closer to St. Louis. And then I saw that on Facebook, and I was like, okay.
It's funny how Facebook works like that. It's like they listen to us.
Yeah, they definitely are listening.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? The other day I sat on my rear for too long at my desk, and I had my legs like bent backwards behind my chair, and I don't know why, and I just sat like that for way too long. And then I stood up, and my heel hurt so bad it felt like I tore my Achilles. But then I took another step, and I was like, oh, I'm fine, I'm just old. And but I thought to myself, like, man, tearing your Achilles tendon would suck. And I just thought it, okay? Sure enough, like an hour later, there was ads on my Facebook about cream for your hurt Achilles tendon.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I was like, dude. I didn't say anything. They read my mind. I was like, no, dude, that freaked me out. I wanted to throw my phone and be like, no, get away from me.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, listen, I'm an investor, so I got to make money. I got one good property that I could probably do something with that sold for a little bit more than 200, but I got a lot more that sold for a lot less. I mean, if 200 is like y'all's number, I mean, have y'all talked to anybody else about this?
We really haven't. I mean, this was just a random thing that happened earlier.
All right. So the only way that I could help you would be kind of an unconventional way. It would be like, and I don't even know if this is possible, so just bear with me. If the property could sell, maybe if like we fix it up a little bit, maybe paint touch up, something like that, and it could sell for like more than 200,000, then maybe there could be a situation where I could come in and say, hey, I could give you guys $200,000, but we would need to be able to list it on the MLS and sell it through a realtor that way. But what the benefit for you guys would be that you wouldn't have to worry about it. You could go ahead and move to St. Louis or whatever. We could work out something there, but if that's not like a necessary thing, and that's like you want to wait on this to sell, then listing with a realtor yourself would probably be the way that you get the most money. Because I mean, me paying cash 200,000, I just don't see that working from a realtor perspective or from a investor perspective.
Yeah, I get that.
But if it's like if y'all are needing to get to St. Louis like super fast, then we might be able to figure something out. Is that like a priority, or is it kind of like, hey, whenever we sell it, we're good?
It's kind of like whenever we sell it, we're
All
good.
Right. Then hiring a realtor is going to be your best. That's going to get you the most money, and you might be able to get a little bit more than 200. They might come in and say, hey, like you need to do some paint touch ups, this and that. But realistically, that's going to be the way that you get the most money in your pocket.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, this house could definitely have some upgrades, and it could definitely go for 200, go more than that. But I was, like I said, it was just a random thing. I thought it'd be cool if I got like an offer and showed my husband, and you know, it's not nothing we need right now. I
got you. I mean, it would be. In fact, the lady I just spoke to earlier, you know, she's also in Missouri, and she needed 60, and I was able to offer her, you know, 57,000. Well, actually, I offered her 55. She then said 57, and we came to an agreement. Sometimes it works out that way. unfortunately, like y'all's house is already in pretty decent condition, and there's only one property in a 0.75 mile radius that sold for more than 200,000. So from an investor standpoint, it's like, that's real scary, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have the best neighborhood. I get that.
Yeah. So I would suggest, you know, calling around, interviewing some realtors and finding one that'll shoot you straight and not just the highest number, one that'll actually tell you what you need to see on paper. So,
Yeah. Okay.
all right, Allison. Well, I appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Next. Oh, 1 minute ago. Fresh lead. Get it? This is hot off the press, baby. Robert gonna be like, how'd you call me so fast? Because, sir, I'm a hedgehog. I move as fast as Sonic.
Your call has
Come on, Robert. DND me.
Your call has been.
Brother. He's literally on the website filling it out right now. What are you doing?
Your call has been forwarded.
Call the angry Will guy back. Isaiah, I think it's 12 seconds later. Doom Sports, I'm calling Will.
6, 1.
God dang it, Will. Will's like Georgia from the 50-50-50. Like, what are we doing? Answer the phone. Where do I want to go next? Back to Missouri.
Welcome to the U.S. Cellular voicemail. Welcome to the U.S. Cellular voicemail.
Oh, please answer. Come on.
When your name and number.
I never spoke to Georgia from Georgia. Come on.
When your name and number.
Damn it. Lori? Oh, yeah. Guaranteed. Oh, no, not guaranteed. Don't like that.
Hello,
Hi, is Lori there?
that's Lori.
Hey, Lori, this is RJ Bates calling about your property there on Highway 62.
All right.
Looked like you filled out a form on my website saying that you're looking to sell that. Is that correct?
That is very correct.
All right. How much were you looking to get for it?
Okay. We had it on the market for 230. Yeah, we had quite a few offers. Everything else they fell through. I'm trying to get at least 180, 170 the lowest. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. The house is only 8 years old, freshly built. Everything is brand new on it. My mama passed away because we built it for her, so we inherited it.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
Thank you.
Okay. So you said you got offers, but they fell through. What was it financing or what was the issue there?
Financing. Well, the first one went through, or almost went through it the day before signing. The lady got fired from her job.
Oh,
so
jeez.
we weren't able to go do the signing the following day. And the other two was financing.
That's crazy. Got fired the day before closing.
That's what I'm saying. And it took us 3.5 months to get all her lender stuff done. And it's like, okay, you got fired the day before? Give me a break.
3.5 months to get her lender. I mean, that's not normal.
Well, no shit. That's what I said too.
Yeah.
And I had to drive from my house out there, and that's a 9.5-hour drive to find out, oh, we're not closing.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah, because we did have a realtor and everything else. She's my cousin out there, but she took it off the market this morning for me.
Why'd you take it off?
Because they said I couldn't go through one of y'all if it was still in the market.
So you already talked to another one of me?
Yeah, a couple of views, and one was offering me 120. I hung up on him because he was rude. And then the other one said, well, I'll do 135. It's like, no. It cost me more than that to build the house.
Right. Hey, on the one that was rude, I'm just curious. Did they have to pretend to go talk to somebody else?
They sure did.
Ha! What a jackass.
No shit. How do you think I felt?
Ah, man.
They act like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a realtor out here in Indiana. My daughter is, and so is my husband. So you ain't going to sit there and tell me something that I don't know.
Wait, what did they call the other person? Was it finance department or underwriter?
Underwriting. Yes, we have to talk to underwriting.
Give
me a minute.
What a jackass.
Like,
he
sure.
He was sitting in his bedroom like, He ain't got no underwriter. What is he talking about?
Well, that's it. One of my best friends is also an investor. But he only does it in Illinois and Indiana. And he goes, well, we pay for it ourselves. I said, I know this. He goes, they're bullshitters. I said, I know.
All right, so you had this at 2:30, and I mean, you had multiple offers, but you just couldn't get it across the finish line.
Correct.
What's the most important thing to you?
Closure.
You just don't want to deal with it anymore, right?
I want a closure to my mother. I'm dealing with my two brothers and my sister, and they're a bunch of morons. So, I mean, I want to have a closure to my mom. I haven't even had time to mourn yet because they're driving me crazy here.
Okay. So you know real estate. If I said I want to do a novation, do you know what that is?
Yeah, you want to give me $100,000 down and make monthly payments.
No. Novation's where I listed on the MLS and we come to an agreement. Like I'm going to make a spread between whatever I pay you and whatever the end buyer, but you're kind of hands off on it. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Let me deal with the negotiations, hiring of the realtor that I want to use and the inspection items and all of that. And it's just kind of like you can forget about it until your payday.
Yeah, no, so I'm trying to, honestly, I would rather just have somebody just buy it now and do whatever y'all want to do with it.
I know the issue with that is that that's where you end up with those lower numbers that you don't like.
I know.
I can give you more if you give me the opportunity to do it this way. That's why I'm bringing that up right out of the gates.
Yeah. Yeah. I got offered that once already, and
someone offered you a novation?
Yes.
They actually said that?
They actually said what you just told me.
Holy shit. Good for them.
Yeah. Some guy named Greg. I forgot the company's name.
All right.
But yeah. And I'm like, well, no, because you guys just don't understand what I'm going through here. I got 3 money-hungry siblings that calls me 25 times a day. What are we doing? I want it sold. Get rid of it. I don't care. I need my money. I just can't do it no more. I'm getting too old for this shit.
So, but let me ask you, I mean, with each like move that we make, it's like there's a give and take. So it's like speed obviously requires a deeper discount, but more money, then it's like I need some concession on my side because we can solve the problem. It's like, do they have a specific dollar amount that they're wanting or needing right now? Or are they like dead broke? And it's like, hey, if they got a couple $100 right now, they would be happy.
Oh, no. My one oldest brother, he is, all right, long story short, on a different subject. My father passed away 10 years ago, left me and my mom 1.5. Okay? That's how we built the
right.
house and everything for her out there. My brother drained her within 5 years.
Right.
So he is the type that, I need this. Well, he wants his full amount up front. So if I sold it for 160, he expects his 35 right there and then.
Well, he gets it at closing, right? I mean, not at contract signing.
Oh, I know this.
Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure he knows it. Like, he understands that.
He has no choice to understand it because even my cousin that's a realtor, she just called me up this morning. She goes, I can't do this no more. I said, I know. He goes, Robert calls me 25 times a day. I was like, holy shit, he's doing you like he's doing to me.
Are you the executor or administrator of the estate?
Yeah, I am. Me and my sister.
Gotcha. And so that sister, she's more relaxed. It's the brother that's causing the issues.
Oh no, my sister is just as bad. She's a drunk.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I said I'm trying to go the easiest and fastest route. I mean, like I said, Mama passed away in January, so I've been dealing with this since January. And they already got my blood pressure going. I go for surgery tomorrow, so I'm trying to keep the blood pressure down, but it's not easy. Yeah, so if I get somebody to offer me at least 160, they can have it. I'll go away to 60,000 right now. That's how bad it's getting.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got
It's got five acres, right?
5 acres, 3-bedroom, 2-bath ranch house. Everything, like I said, everything's brand new. The foundation, everything we started from scratch. They call it something else, but I call it a garage. But you can fit 2 semis in there. My daddy built that, when he was alive for his work trucks. But yeah, right now we were using it for all the bush hoggers and everything else. But you can fit 2 semis in there beautifully. That's how big that is. And it's all open land, which is even nicer.
What's going on with that? The one that's down the road from you, it's listed for $219. Do you know anything about that one?
Yeah, that one's all beat up inside.
All right. And so that's
Yeah.
Yeah, you're much better.
Oh, I was thinking so too. Yeah, no, a lot of the houses down there are run down, everything else. Because in the beginning, my brother decided to put it for $299 with my cousin. I called him up 2 days later. I said, "What the hell does it say $299 for?" He goes, "Well, I want some money." I said, "Put it back down to $230, like I said." I said, "We ain't getting $300,000 for this house." I said, "This is in the South. Put it down to $230, and then we'll work our way down."
What do you think he would do if you got 160 today?
I think he would jump for joy and leave me alone. And then I can go on with my happy life and not worry about speaking to these siblings ever again in my life.
All right.
That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is.
So I don't want to tell you I can do 160 and not be able to do 160. So I need to place a phone call real quick. Are you going to be available in 5-10 minutes when I call you back?
Yep, I sure am.
All right, I'll call you right back.
All right.
All right, bye-bye. Go through, call.
How are you?
Fantastic. Welcome to YouTube Live.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Yes. I just got off the phone with a seller, and motivation is through the roof. It's a inheritance. So the situation that really is intriguing to me is that this was listed on the MLS, and they received multiple offers for $230. One fell through because the buyer got fired the day before closing, lost the loan, a couple of other financing issues. It's a messy inheritance, got crazy siblings. So she was listed for $230, had multiple offers at this, have gone under contract. They just took it off today. It's coming off of the MLS. She has stair-stepped herself down to 160. She said the crazy brother would be jumping for joy if she got 160 today. So I just text you the address. There's pictures online. I'm curious what you think about this and where your numbers will be coming in, knowing that we could potentially get in that 230 range.
Yeah, let me take a quick look. Just starting to pull it up here.
I offered to do a novation, and she said someone else had come in and offered to do the same thing. She's not willing to do it. because of the crazy siblings, and she just doesn't want to take the time because it does look like, this is going to be 90 to 120 days on market, which I explained to her that with, she doesn't want to give us that availability or creativity, then it comes at a discount. So that's where she was.
I mean, yeah, what I'm seeing from the listing history is they had it listed in mid-March for $299.
So that was the crazy brother that did that with the cousin, and then she got involved as the executor, and they dropped it to $230 because she's a licensed realtor in Indiana and understands where it should have been. So it always should have been at $230.
Yeah, no, I totally understand, and I see that it happened 5 days after they listed initially, that price reduction.
Right.
So it makes the story, that part of the story makes sense. What I'm not too sure about is it's been on. I mean, it was on for over 3 months. So let's say 3 months since that price dropped to $230. Her story of having sold it multiple times for $230, which is the exact asking price that she had it out there for 3 months. That part I'm not super hot on. And the fact that you just said she's a realtor probably knows how to talk shop and tell some creative stories, let's say, as many good realtors do. So I'm just not 100% confident on her. I wouldn't want to rely on her saying that they sold for $230, so I'm going to do a valuation separately, obviously.
Agreed. So what I was going to say on that is what we could do is say, hey, we need to know that valuation of $230 and that there's buyers coming in. One of our contingency items is that you provide us with proof of signed previous contracts and the dates.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. The other thing, I mean, the fact that she's a realtor, she'll probably appreciate this. One of my arguments would be that since she listed it, the market has softened almost, nationally. There's more uncertainty, and so for us to hit the market, in a month or so, we're at a bigger disadvantage than where she was when she would hit the market, 3.5 months ago at $330. So that's what I'd be looking at. If I were making if I was just shooting from the hip based on what you've told me, I'd probably want it for not more than $150, but I haven't done a valuation yet, so I'm just getting into that now.
Gotcha.
Greg.
And is that 150 assuming that 230 is not legitimate? It's more like 220, and then at 70% of that.
It's along those lines, but even if the 230s are legitimate, I am a little bit more defensive these days with the market softening, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at the listing picture.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Talking. I'm just budgeting in a little bit more buffer for that. The fact that we won't close tomorrow, so a couple of weeks, I'm sure, before we close, and then hitting the market. I don't know when we'll hit the market. In late July, let's say. I don't know what the market's going to do between now and then, but when a market's been very soft or even slightly declining in many areas, I have to act as though it's going to continue to do at least that, as opposed to just all of a sudden uptick beautifully in my favor. So that's more where the 150 is coming from versus not believing them. I mean, as you probably saw, the house looks very sellable as is. We probably wouldn't do much or anything to it, just wholesale it.
Right.
All right, let me just take a quick peek at some sales. I mean, the problem is, the first thing I see is when I look up in that area, sales from the last 6 months, without filtering out anything, there are like 5 or 6. And if I go and I look at what's on the market right now, there are 5 that are on the market right now. So you're looking at, half a year. It looks to be, if I'm just using that math, half a year is the absorption time.
what I will say is one thing I'm noticing. Your two closest competition on the market right now is similar size house, nicer looking, but $120,000 more, same lot size, right? It's that log cabin on Squirrel Road. And then you've got much more land, same size house, but again, it would be $155,000 more. So we, from a price point perspective, for the size of the lot that you're getting, which is 5 acres, we are the most attractive from a pricing perspective.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all from that perspective.
So it's funny. She got an offer earlier for 135. She said she hung up on the guy, and then someone else did the fake underwriter and came back at 120, trying to, anchor her to get her to come back. And she just hung up on him. So we had a good laugh about that. When I pitched the Novation, she said she had also received a Novation offer and she didn't want that. Sounds to me like we probably need to be, in order for me to make any money on a wholesale transaction, we probably need to be somewhere in that 125, 130 range, which is where the others were coming in. So then that way you're getting enough. I've got her at 160 without even asking for anything. She pretty much just stair-stepped herself down. So let me give her a call back and see if that's even something that she would entertain or not. I mean, because if we're coming in somewhere in that 125, 130 range, maybe I can also hammer home the Novation route and be like, there's an easier way for us to do this where you could get more money.
Yeah. And you can obviously, I know you know how to pitch it, but I mean, well, if you're doing it, you know how to do it. If I'm involved, you can explain, look, 25 years of the top real estate brokerage action. We'll take it, white glove service. Not that we want to critique her too much, probably, but you said the house is vacant, right?
It is. Mother passed away, and her and siblings inherited it.
Yeah, and they're basically, if I'm not mistaken, first of all, they haven't cleaned out the house before the pictures, and they're just using leftover furniture to stage it, quote unquote. If they put a little bit more effort into that, it certainly wouldn't hurt. It's a nice property at the end of the day. Yeah.
All right. Let me give her a shout back and see what she can say here. All right. All right. Appreciate you, Claude. Bye-bye.
Hello?
Hey, Lori, it's RJ.
Hey, RJ.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what's the best route I can do here. I mean, looking at it from a cash perspective, you said the lowest you can go there is 160. I don't know that I can make the 160 work. And here's the reason why, because with it being listed on the MLS at the 230 and it not making it to the closing table, it does kind of spoil the waters for us a little bit. Because there's not much to be done to the property and make it look nice. It's already in great condition. So from an investor standpoint, it's like, what's the value add? We might be able to take a little bit better pictures, maybe stage it a little bit more. That's pretty much it, right? It's already in really good condition. So there's not much we can do to make it look better than it already does. So we're already having to look at it and say we would probably have to discount it a little bit from the 230. And it does feel like a pretty slow area in regards to sales. I mean, there's not much listed. There haven't been many sales in the area in the past 6 months. So there's just some concerns there from hey, if we're going to invest into this, we need to kind of protect ourselves in case Well, you know, World War III starts or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
I know. I understand. I know what you're saying there. Correct.
So from a cash perspective, it's like, hey, I'm coming in lower than what you need at the 160. I still want to go back to, I can get you more money, but that you just do not want to do the novation at all, right?
Yeah, no, I just talked to my other two siblings with that, and they said no.
Okay.
And they're the ones that have to sign up too.
So all of the siblings have to sign, or just you and your sister?
All of us do. All four of us.
When you talked to the gentleman earlier that offered you the 135, you said you hung up on him.
I did.
Was it because of the offer or because of the explanation?
Because of the offer.
So you've come down to 160. I'm not going to be able to do that. I need it lower than that. Is that even something that you guys are willing to entertain, or are you going to continue to try to find somebody else?
Well, I'm gonna have to find somebody else, but I really got to do at least 160. Like I said, I've already dropped it so much. You know, like I said, I'm pretty much, the 160 is covering what we paid for the house to be built. I'm not, you know, that's the only thing I'm looking at. I'm not even really looking at the acres or nothing else. It's what I put into it, you know, to build it.
So I don't understand what would be the reasoning why you wouldn't want to take the 160 if it's just going to take a little bit of time. What's the reason why you wouldn't want to allow me to do that?
Well, like I was saying, I want to get closure. I want this over and done with. I want to be able to shut the door, and I want to be able to mourn. I don't want to wait another, 2, 3, 4 months. I need to be able to sit down and mourn.
Okay.
And that's my thing right now. My mother was my best friend, and I hate myself right now with everything going on. I need to be able to sit down, have good 72 hours of just screaming, crying, breaking shit, and not be bothered with any of it. And the only way I'm going to be able to do this is by closing that final chapter in this life.
4 of you are going to be splitting the proceeds, right?
That's correct. Like
So,
I said, it's not even really, how do I explain it?
I understand, because I'm also I've lost my dad 12 years ago, and I lost my grandmother, and I also inherited 2 properties. And so I'm familiar with the situation. And so I don't want to sound callous. I just want to also I know you're talking to a lot of people, and you just said, like, hey, this is what I want. And so the best way that I could do that is by offering you a solution. I just want to try to give you a little bit of a different perspective. For every $4,000 that you come down on price, that's only $1,000 hit to each of you.
Yeah.
And so it's not moving the needle as significantly as it feels. So I know that you said you paid 160 to build it, but from my standpoint, I can't base it off of that. I have to look at, what do I think I could sell this property for? And so if you're at 160, if you were to come down to 140 and you divide that by 4, that means instead of you guys walking away with $40,000, you're walking away with $35,000 each.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, but I could not do that. That would be just a kick in my butt.
But why? It's only a $5,000 kick to your butt.
Because it's not even really about the 5,000. It's the point of, I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. It's just my perspective, I guess. I don't know.
But let me ask you, I mean, you said you want to get rid of this. You want the closure. That's why you don't want to do the novation at 160. So from a cash offer perspective, I have to be less than that. And this gives you that closure. It allows you to do all of those things that you want to do. So that's where I'm struggling, because I'm like, I'd love to give you more money, but I've got to have a path to be able to do that. So I protect my rear, right? I've got to protect my money.
Well, correct. I understand all that. Just like I got to be able to protect my mom's assets too. You know, this is what she wanted. This is her home. Well, was her home. Okay, it's kind of hard to keep saying that word was, but yeah, this is where she was happy, and I just gotta be able to keep it at 160. If it doesn't happen right away, then I don't know what to say right now. But this is what all the siblings are agreed to is the 160. Because if I brought up 140, they'll tell me no way. Because they already mentioned I said 160.
But 160, there's no way you said you're okay waiting for the 160, but you're not okay waiting on the 160 with me. You just want to continue working it.
No, what I'm trying to say is, yes, I want to close it right now for my insanity, but when you got 3 siblings that want their money and they want it now, it's just hard to explain. I don't even know.
But that's what I'm saying. Instead of giving them a big round number, you could go back to them and you could say, hey guys, instead of getting $40,000 a piece, we could get $35,000 a piece right now. Or we could wait 100 and 120 days and we could get the 40. Which one would we rather do? Is 100 days worth an extra $5,000, or is right now walking away with $35,000 a piece worth it? It's all a matter of perspective,
I know. Yep, like I said, I'm with the realtors out here too, so I know what you're saying there.
I mean, like for example, when I'm an administrator of my grandmother's estate. My aunt lives in one house, my uncle lives in another house. And at the end of the day, me and my uncle had to look at each other and say, we inherited a third of my aunt's house, but it's better for us to just allow her to have that asset, to allow her to go through the mourning process, get the money that she feels like she deserves on it, and move on. And it's like, that's a decision that y'all can make collectively. And it's like, you say they're money hungry. So it's like, is it really worth an extra? What if you go through the next 3 to 4 months talking to hundreds of us investors, and we all keep saying the same thing? Are you eventually going to come down on price, or are you going to keep working this and not going through the mourning that you want to go through?
Well, I guess by that time we're gonna have no choice to go down. But like I said, they're gonna see it in their own eyes. They're gonna be like, all right, well, it's been another 60 days. Let's just do whatever. Well, then that's when we'll do whatever. But right now, I have to be firm with the 160. Because like I said, I'd already dropped it down, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 for my asking price.
So why not just go ahead and secure the 160 in? That's what I'm asking. I want to give you the 160. The thought process doesn't make sense. You could get the 160, you'll get your check in 90 to 120 days, and then you're good. But instead, you're like, hey, I'd rather work it and worry about it and have to field all these phone calls and do all that to try to give what I'm already telling you could get.
Yeah. All I can do is when they get home later on this evening, I'll call them. We'll have a 4-way conversation, and then I'll bring up everything to them and just tell them, this is what it is, and this is how it's got to be. What do you guys want to do?
All right. Well, you've got my phone number there, Lori. Feel free to reach back out to me and let me know what they say, okay?
I sure will. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Man, sometimes you just can't help people. There's no logic behind that. But I do want to throw a couple things out there. One, guys, I don't care how successful you feel like the underwriter and all that is. You look like a jackass to sellers. There's case in point right there. I mean, she's like, they act like I don't know what's going on. It doesn't fool anybody, okay? You're in your bedroom. You ain't got no imaginary friend to go talk to. And then I do love the fact that someone had pitched her an ovation and they actually just point blank came out and said, I want to do a novation. However, I do question whether or not she was telling me the truth there, because when I asked her if she knew what a novation was, she then talked about seller finance. So I don't know if she really understood or if that person actually did pitch her a novation and said those words, but she said she did, so I'll take her at face value there. When it comes to solving a seller's problem, that right there is exactly how I believe those conversations should go down. That wasn't a 1 call, that was a 2 call. Call the buyer in between. It's the power of being inside of a community like TU. That's a TU member right there. Claude, he's been with us for several months. Easy conversation. Now I believe listen, she hung up on the 135 offer. In a roundabout way, I made her a 140 offer where Claude was saying he needs to be about 150. Now that's where we are right now with a 160 novation offer. We'll see what transpires from there. I don't even love it for the novation, but she is highly motivated. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of moving pieces, but that call right there, I think, is a perfect example how authenticity, being transparent and honest about what's taking place really makes a difference to the sellers. And I keep bringing this up, and I'm going to keep bringing it up for the next several months and probably forever, but put yourself in the seller's shoes and understand what they're going through. The initial guy, what a jackass, dealing with an inherited property, trying to low anchor with $120,000 fake underwriter and offer. It's pathetic. It does not have a place in this industry, and it needs to be eliminated. And that's the reason why. We could come in and we can make a fair offer, and we can still make money by doing our job, but we don't have to lie. We don't have to make anything up. We can actually just have a real conversation. And so what is the result of this call? She said, okay, I'm going to go back to my siblings. We're going to have a 4-way call, and I'm going to lay out everything that you discussed today, and then I'll let you know. And so now my job is to continue to follow up with that. This might take 3, 4, 5 conversations, but to eventually be able to solve her problem. That is our job. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Shout out to LeadZolo today. The leads were awesome. The connection rate was great. Should have never touched that Utah lead. They got slowed the vibe down there a little bit, Cody, but I thought the leads were awesome. Highly motivated leads at time, right? Even the ones that we weren't able to do anything, right? The one in Missouri where they're moving to St. Louis for their job, that's a motivated seller, right? There's motivation. It's not enough motivation to sell their house for a discount. Not enough equity, not in an area where I'd want to explore sub 2 or anything like that. But the other one where we made the offer in Missouri, she's going to have the appointment. Guys, what I'm trying to show you here, it's not necessarily about showcasing the closer's formula or LeadZolo. It's showing you how you can just be yourself. And if you understand what you're trying to accomplish with these deals, you can literally say exactly what you want to do. I want to do a novation. I want to wholesale the deal, whatever it is. Transparency, honesty, and authenticity will win the day. Your competition sucks. You see that time and time again. So don't go into this worried about what they're doing. Worry about what you do. Leverage how bad they suck against them, and you'll close more deals. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like the video. We'll see you guys tomorrow.